What's going on, everybody? Welcome back. Terra Luna Classic. Well, we need to talk about it. We have the yes and we have the no, and equally we have a nice little bit of price action, but is there a problem ahead of us? Well, we're going to find out in this video, as well as breaking down the tax to gas reason. What is all that about? Make sure you subscribe to the channel, turn that notification bell on to keep up to date with everything going on in the cryptocurrency world. And like we always do, let's take a quick look at the overall cryptocurrency market. A 1.2% move on the global market, 1.68 trillion. Yes, the market looks set for a good weekend. The pre-Christmas move is on us. Now, we could even see a big run into the end of the year. A lot of people expecting ETFs to launch by Jan 8th. We could see the hype really start to build towards the back end of the year. Are we going to see a $48,000 Bitcoin? It could well be on the cards. However, when we come down the list, you can see a ton of green out there. We see things like Stellar Lumens up 10%, Optimism up 40%, absolutely ripping, as is Arbitrum up 25% as well. As we continue to see down the list, Bonk there with a little bit of a pullback, but we do get to the 71st highest ranked crypto. That's 3 places up in the last 24 hours for Terra Luna Classic. Our volume back up to around $156 million. That's a 133% rise in the last 24 hours. And the price, $16.68, a nice upward trend coming with Terra Luna Classic. Now, you might be thinking, okay, 2-bit, tell us what's going on. Well, interestingly, we were talking about these 3 proposals yesterday in my video, namely the 1.5% tax. Now, like I said yesterday, this has a big divide right now. On one side, we have an absolute determination to put this through and ultimately get the tax increased. On the other side, which I probably sit on the fence of the other side, where I don't understand how this is going to work. Remember, when we talk about on-chain tax, it has to have volume. If you don't have volume, it's a waste of time. And we're almost putting a risk factor in here that says Binance does it. Now, on the other side, the positive yes side, Binance actually were against minting of their burned tokens. So it necessarily might not change. It doesn't mean that they would change to a 1.2% burn. We would just burn on chain, which again, could be okay, but the volume is just not there. Now, interestingly enough, though, we've had a few more votes. This one does not look like it is going to pass. Now, bear in mind, we still have a couple of days, probably about 24 hours for this to change. And if we see some big validators still to vote on this, although 50% is kind of where we are, we've already had a total number, 50.68% is the total vote so far. But this was very close to passing. I was in a world where I thought this was going to go through, but subsequently has changed. And I guess the question is why? And I think a lot of people are truly nervous on what Binance does. Right now, they are the fundamental big burners of Terra Luna Classic, consistently burning, and Richard Teng is committed to continue that burn, especially when we take a look at the volume that's starting to come in. This is important. Remember, the volume trading pairs of Luna Classic supports the Binance burn. We have another one. So actually right now, you could argue this $75 million, 50% of that, remember, and then we take the percentage off for the Binance narrative, but it's still going to give us a significant burn. Probably one of the best ones we've had in the last 12 months, given our price and volume on Terra Luna Classic. So my view is a lot of people are nervous about what Binance may do in the, in the kind of view that we do increase the tax. Now, remember, it's 1.2, 1.15 going to community and 1.15 going to those staking rewards. What's more interesting, though, when we talk about those is obviously the burn narrative isn't the biggest thing in the world. It requires volume. But when we take a look at what's going on with staking rewards, we see continuation of unstaked LUNC down another 500 million, down to 14.03. It's nearly 2% of the entire staked amount of Luna Classic has been unstaked. What does this mean? It means people are getting ready to sell. In my opinion, remember, you can redelegate. That doesn't hit the undelegation part. I think people are looking to sell. We could see a pretty big push down in Luna Classic if we don't start to see some building. We don't see a reason for people to get in. Now, obviously, everyone's talking about the potential USTC repeg, the incremental repeg, and I think that has gone a little bit quiet, and I think it is important that we keep that narrative because that's going to push the price of Terra Luna Classic. Now, there's a great article here from CoinGap that says here, with many governance proposals related to the updates, burn staking, and others passed, some key Terra Luna Classic community members and validators believe it is imperative to bring back builders on the chain to revive LUNC and repeg USTC to $1. Tax to gas. Incorporating the tax into the gas and removing the need for separate handling and calculation is under discussion now. Obviously, we're talking about the 1.5% tax, which ultimately will bring back a 1.2% burn tax with that 0.3 to fund the chain on the to fund the chain that we have on that. Again, 80-20% tax split. The majority refuses to increase the burn tax. And that's kind of what we've been talking about. But tax to gas is a good solution and could bring back builders. Also, high burn taxes do not bring in high volume. Tax to gas incorporates the tax into the gas and removes the need for separate handling and calculation, and ultimately would be added to a governance voting. So this kind of tax to gas is a slightly different narrative to what we have at the minute. Is this what we're going to need to switch to the builders to bring them back onto Luna Classic? And I think, look, this is important. What I like now is we are getting these proposals put through. We are starting to see people think about how we can do that. Remember, one of the best things Terra Luna Classic has is the community, and ultimately the ambition of the community to get there. Now, we've had some pretty crazy proposals recently. I'm not saying that the 1.5% tax is, but obviously burning of the 800 million USTC could be an interesting one, as well as the potential repeg. But we do have to be mindful. It is going to be significantly lower volume potentially if this one goes through. So what's going on with the price right now? Like we said, 1678. However, a couple of important things to look at. We have actually broke above this volume price indication line here. So this is the line here sitting underneath that. We've broke above twice now. We're on the 4-hour chart as well. So 3 candles, 1, 2, 3, giving us that higher price range with a potential push. Now, our big key support level, 18,225. That's what we're looking for, this push into this range here, and then above and consolidate in this channel. This is kind of where we want to get to before another push back up to that 2 line, being a big line of support for us as we continue. Now, we did get a strong sell signal here. This one has come back in, and this is an upward trend coming in. Likewise, on the oscillator down here, we are seeing some good volume coming in and a definite price uptrend that we're getting. Is this sustainable? Well, I think while ever this tax potential is over the top of us, we'll see. Is this a rally on the potential that it's going to pass, or that it's not? I'm interested to know what your thoughts are. But right now, USTC is up at 1.2%. Likewise, that in a good direction. So a lot of things looking good for Luna Classic, both of which breaking the volume price indicator. So we might get a very good move through the weekend for Terra Luna Classic. But let me know in the comments down below, 1.2 or not. I'm interested to know your thoughts. As ever, if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel where we talk about cryptocurrency every single day and bring you all the latest and greatest coins, charts, and price action. As ever, thank you so much for watching the video. I'll see you guys very soon. Bye-bye.